Thank you, Chief Almada, Mayor Ryder. It's a privilege to share the stage with you today. Thanks to all of you who are joining us in person and virtually for the honor to come forward and to help represent the first responders. I always try to make it my goal when I have these opportunities on September 11th to make sure that those numbers that the mayor recited are always captured, and so I appreciate his efforts in that, and so I won't repeat them. And I will instead shift my focus to what we believe is at least the equal number who have and continue to sacrifice, those who in the intervening days following the tragedies of 9/11 went to that pile, went to those buildings, sacrificed in search of the missing, the injured, those who were willing to spend those days, countless tireless days, searching for those they'd never met before. It's interesting that those 19 terrorists attacked people they had never known. I think what they didn't anticipate was the equal match or greater match of the American spirit to come forward and overshadow what they intended for evil with the desire to be resilient, to restore our great nation to even better than it was. And that is what I'm so thankful about the spirit of this nation, of this community. I'm so honored to serve here among our uniformed military members, those in law enforcement, our private emergency medical services, and all those who get to serve in this community and live here as well. It's my hope, my prayer on this day, that this opportunity of remembrance draws us back to that same spirit that we saw in those days following September 11th. It's unfortunate right now that I feel our communities are often way too divided, and so perhaps this day is our opportunity to refocus on what makes this community so great, to set aside some of our differences, and to once again put that service above self mindset and be in service to our neighbors regardless of our difference. I hope you'll embrace that with me, and I thank you for this opportunity today. Mayor.
Thank you, Chief Brooks, and I also appreciate the service that he's been giving on this day since 9/11, approximately the same time the first plane hit the tower. They've been doing a ceremony, and I was able to go to that ceremony this morning, and thank you very much for that. We can never forget, and we should always be thankful for those who run toward danger at risk to themselves to protect everyone else. So please join me in a moment of silence for 30 seconds as we pause to remember and honor and reflect those lives lost on September 11th, the attacks and the resulting war on terror. Thank you. On behalf of the entire Lacey City Council, I want to thank you for joining us today. I also want to say a special thank you to the Washington Air National Guard for the special flag folding ceremony at the beginning of our program. But I would be remiss if I didn't take this time to acknowledge this feeling we're all experiencing at this moment. As Americans, one nation, indivisible. Just as Chief Brooks has just pointed out, if we can take anything away from this tragic day 20 years ago, it's that we all have more in common than what separates us. So as we leave this ceremony today, please remember this truth, that we will always be stronger when we stand together as one people, rather than focus on the things that try to pull us apart. To close out our program today, we're joined by a special guest, Nicholson. Nick is a 10-year U.S. Air Force veteran and award-winning artist and performer from Tennessee. He's performed across the country with some of the biggest musical names and is here with us today thanks to True Responders, a nonprofit providing support to our first responders and their families. So please help me welcome Nick.
How are we doing today? So they flew me out from South Carolina, and I'm glad to be here. I've done a few shows up here in town, and Lucky Eagle Casino and whatnot. And Dick Garrett being a great friend of mine and his family, and they take me in every time I'm in town. And the whole meaning behind Dick's a veteran, I'm a veteran, a lot of you guys are veterans, and what's going on in the world. What happened 20 years ago, and the 20 years that we spent in Afghanistan. I don't know if I got a signal or not here. All right, there's something. Anyway, I can't believe it's been 20 years. I know you guys are thinking the same thing, and all the young men and women who spent time over in Afghanistan and the last 20 years and gave their soul for that. And a lot of them didn't make it back, and that's why I'm here. The 343 firefighters that passed away in one shot, that's a big blow. I was talking to Dick earlier about it today, about when you come out of the military and you go into the fire department or the police department, you're like, you still got your brotherhood, you know? And so you feel right at home. You just pick up your pieces and roll forward from there. And I appreciate every one of you about this, so. Yeah, I guess it's not going to work, so. Okay, good. If tomorrow all the things were gone I worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife, I thank my lucky stars to be living here today. 'Cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. 'Cause I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the man who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston, from New York to LA, there is pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say, I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the man who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the man who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. Thank you. And that's for the formal portion of the show. This next song is going to be more like us red-blooded Americans like. So, a little Toby Keith for you here. And I want you guys to sing with me on this one too, on the chorus, right? You got that? American girl, American guy, they'll always stand up and salute. They'll always recognize when they see Old Glory flying. There's a lot of men dead, so we can sleep in peace at night when we lay down our head. Y'all remember this song? My daddy served in the army, where he lost his right eye, and he flew a flag out in our yard. To the day that he died, I saw that my mother, my brother, my sister and me could grow up and live happy in the land of the free. Now this nation that I love is falling under attack. A mighty sucker punch came flying in from somewhere in the back, so that we can see it clearly through our big black eye. Then we lit up your world like the 4th of July. Everybody! Hey, Uncle Sam, put your name at the top of his list. And a Statue of Liberty started shaking a fist, and an eagle will fly, and it's gonna be here when you hear Mother Freedom start ringing a bell, and it feels like the whole wide world is raining down on you. Oh, now brought to you courtesy. That's right. Oh, justice will be served, and the battle will rage. This big dog will fight when you rattle his cage. You'll be sorry that you mess with the U.S. of A. Let me hear you scream, come on! So we'll put a boot in your ass, it's the American way. Hey, Uncle Sam, put your name at the top of his list, and the Statue of Liberty started shaking a fist, and an eagle will fly, and it's gonna be hell when you hear Mother Freedom start ringing a bell, and it feels like the whole wide world is raining down on you. Oh, now brought to you courtesy, hey, of the red, white, and blue. Oh, yeah, of my red, white, and blue. Oh, yeah, of my red, white, and blue. Thank y'all so much. Enjoy your ride. I'll see you guys when I get back.
didn't think there was anything really formally going on at the Capitol.